In this example, we would like to solve the recurrence relation. Recall that what that means is we want to find a closed form formula, basically, that will give us the terms of this the sequence of this recurrence relation. So how do we do that? We look at what the terms of the sequence are and then try to find a pattern. So let's do that. So I'm not going to rewrite them, but we have an is equal to 2 times an minus 1 plus 1, and then we have an initial condition that a1 equals 1. So a1 is 1, a2 is 2 times a1, which is 1 plus 1, so that's going to give us 3. A3 is equal to 2 times the previous one, which was 3 plus 1, so that's 7. A4 is 2 times the previous one plus 1, so that's 15. Let's look at maybe one or two more. A5 is equal to 2 times 15 plus 1, which is 31. A6 is equal to 2 times 31 plus 1, which is going to be, let's see, 2 times 31 is 62 plus 1 more is 63. So what's good to notice about this one is this is very close to increasing powers of 2. Okay, if we were to look at increasing powers of 2, we would have something like this: 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. And notice how closely this matches up. Instead of a 2, we have a 1. Instead of a 4, we have a 3. Instead of an 8, we have a 7. Instead of a 16, we have a 15. Instead of a 32, we have a 31. Instead of a 64, we have a 63. So it looks like it's powers of 2, but 1 less. And so, in fact, if you write down the formula 2, actually, let me do it like this. A sub n equals 2 to the n minus 1. That's going to give you all of those terms. If I plug in a 1, I'm going to have 2 minus 1, which is 1. If I plug in a 2, I'll have 2 squared, which is 4 minus 1, which is a 3. Plug in a 3, and we'll have 8 minus 1, which is a 7, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is a, well, we solved this recursion relation. Now, I picked this one on purpose because the example in the notes uses a process called iteration, and I didn't use iteration here. You can use iteration to get a closed form solution to this, but it gets very, very messy. So I wanted to show you an example where you can look at it and find the pattern and come up with a closed form solution this way.